So now we can start doing a proper recording. Do we want to do an intro this time? Do you have anything, Bakari, or do you want to use the same one from last time?
I like Bakari's intros.
Hey, thank you. I didn't have one. Like, I kind of had a few minutes to come up with the last one. I don't really have that same prep this time. Fuck. All right, welcome back to School Dropouts. It's episode 4. My name is Bakari. I'm joined here by Stew. Say hello, Stew.
Hello, this is Stew.
And today we have a special guest, the film poppy himself. It's John.
Hi, I'm John.
Hell yeah.
How does it feel to be the first special guest?
It feels like winning a Grammy.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm glad we can have that effect. So how are you doing, John?
Just thinking about the Grammys now. Just like...
I don't think I've ever sat and watched the Grammys.
I haven't either, but this is... we're going into the story already, I guess. There was a small chance that I could have gone to the Grammys in 2019. I almost got to go to the Grammys. Yeah.
How did you almost get to go to the Grammys?
Wait, it was a 2000... When did Mitski release Be the Cowboy?
That was 2018, I think.
If that feels more correct, actually. But essentially, my friend shot the cover for it, and she got nominated for a Grammy for album art stuff. And
oh, shit.
The person that they were going to go with couldn't go. So, like, I was thrown the ley line, but I couldn't go, so I didn't get to go to the Grammy.
God damn it.
Oh,
I know, right?
I imagine it's prestigious. Again, I've never really watched it, so I still have no idea what happens there.
Is that the one where CeeLo Green showed up and he looked like a golden robot?
I feel like that was like a long time ago.
I don't know. You were talking about like how time means nothing anymore, so like I don't know. That could have been 2 months ago for all I care at this point.
When was the last time CeeLo tracked anything, though?
I don't know. Maybe he just showed up.
Oh, wait. Is he on TV? Was he on a TV show?
Yeah, he's on
The Voice, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, maybe I'm just hating. I'm sorry.
So, John, since you're on an anime podcast, I got to hit you with the hard questions here. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right. So everybody's got a read for you. What is your favorite anime? And then if you've got one, do you have a most hated anime?
My favorite anime is probably... like, my cool guy answer is going to be Paranoia Agent. I think that's, like, my, like, really sick, like... Not really deep cut, but, like, very smart guy anime.
Even though you label it as such, like, I'm still like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
that show
it's so good.
It's so good.
I think, honestly, in recent times, it's really hard because Attack on Titan Season 2 is so bad, but Season 3 is so incredible. And I'm torn.
That's rough. Like, I talked about in, like, the first episode, like, Attack on Titan is my most hated anime because Season 2 is so bad. Like, I never went back to Season 3.
Yeah, see, I heard you say that, and I was like, if he saw Season 3, like, he couldn't, there's no way. You can't. It's so much better.
Yeah. Season 2 is so rough. It's like, I remember fast forwarding at points. Like, nothing is happening. Like, I hate this so much.
Mm-hmm. My most hated anime? Honestly, I never got into Naruto, which feels bad to say. No, I don't hate it. I don't hate anime. Anime's good. It's all good.
There you go.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
you know?
I wanted to ask that question, but it was like, I've had my turnaround. I'm not as hateful as I used to be, so, you know, if you don't have a hated anime, that's fine. You know, you don't have to be bitter.
Maybe in like 40 minutes, something will pop into my head like, oh no, that shit sucks. You know?
Yeah, I guess we never talked about what we're doing today. Today we're talking about the first 6 episodes of the anime Tower of God.
Correct, the Netflix original based on a Korean webtoon.
Crunchyroll original, please.
Wait, Netflix, fuck, god, shit, never mind, god damn it.
If it was a Netflix original, it would have like that wacky, like, CG anime.
Yeah, that gross, like, cel-shaded shit. I didn't mean Netflix, I knew it was Crunchyroll, I'm just stupid. God damn it, I'm going home.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get replaced here pretty soon, Bakari.
No.
You better get a Grammy invite.
Shit, I don't know anybody who like you're my best bet at getting an invite to the Grammys, John. So I don't think this is happening.
Shit.
Well, so what what have you guys been doing these last few weeks? Like, how you guys been passing time in quarantine?
I've been playing a lot of Bayonetta. Like I've beaten Bayonetta many times before, but like I bought it for like straight up I think the 4th or 5th time on PC recently. Like I got it on the Xbox 360 and then the PS3 and then the Switch and now so the 4th time. Because it was on sale. And I was just like, okay, this time I'm gonna actually beat it all the way through, and I actually did. I beat nonstop infinite climax mode. You don't get to use witch time, and everybody just beats the shit out of you constantly. It's very, very difficult. But yeah, I had a great time. That's a very fun video game.
When you say beat it all the way through, you're not just talking about beating the story mode. You're talking about like actually beating every single difficulty.
Yeah, every difficulty. You start on normal, then hard, then
God.
nonstop infinite climax. Yeah,
That feels like too much.
I thought it was gonna be too much. I thought I would give up, but honestly, on the PC version, I probably only put like maybe 20 hours into it. But like I've beaten it a couple times before, so it's not like it was my first time, you know. But
because I was playing it on like hard mode, I think, and there's a part where like there's like a gold and a blue dude, and they fight you at the same time, and they got these claws and shit. I'm
Grace
probably
and Glory,
not
yeah.
describing it. There you go. They show up and they just kicked my ass.
Yeah.
And like on the 10th try, I was like, oh, I'll come back to this later, and it's been 5 years.
Yeah, in hard mode they show up on the first level too. It's fucked up.
Oh, fuck. What was I playing on then? Fuck.
There's a mechanic in Bayonetta that like they do an awful job explaining to you called dodge offset, where basically if you're doing a combo and you like say you do 3 punches and then on that 3rd punch you hold the punch button and then dodge, when you come out of that dodge animation, you can press punch and get the 4th hit of that combo instead of starting over. So like when you learn how to use that properly, like, yeah, it completely changes the game. Like, where you feel completely weak and powerless before, like, all of a sudden you're able to do all this crazy shit while also keeping yourself safe. So, that's the key to actually enjoying Bayonetta past normal mode, I think.
That's the thing with, like, a lot of those Platinum games is, like, they have all these, like, important mechanics that they just hide.
Yeah.
Like, Metal Gear Revengeance, it's my favorite game, but, like, they make you have to buy the dodge attack. And like that's just an essential thing. Like you need dodge to beat the game. But it's like if you don't buy it, if you don't know any better, then you just suffer without it.
They do that in Wonderful 101 too. That's like such a weird thing Platinum does.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone that really loves Revengeance.
Oh, it went from like, oh, this game's fine, like it was kind of cool, to like every time I play it, which is like about once a year at this point, I love it more and more.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the
I don't
opening
really have
level
anything to add to that, but
well, the opening level is a giant robot, and somehow that's the least cool boss. Like, that's what does it for me in that game. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Maybe.
Because you're kind of a Metal Gear fan, aren't you, John? Or are you just like original MGS?
I'm pretty. Yeah, I really like Twin Snakes a lot.
Oh.
That's kind of the one for me. And I like 2 a lot. Snake Eater's also really cool. I think something happened though, like after I played 4, which I didn't finish. I don't know, I just kind of lost it. But I think I just lost video games for a little bit in general.
It happens.
Like it's just Smash. That's it. Smash, then more Smash.
and then more Smash, presumably.
That's how it goes. But going back to buying the same game a bunch of times. How many times have you guys bought Resident Evil 4?
Oh, actually only 3 times. Only 3.
What has been released more, Resident Evil 4 or Skyrim?
GameCube.
I'm gonna go RE4.
I think so.
Because you get a whole generation before Skyrim came out.
Oh, that's a good point.
Isn't Skyrim on like phones and shit though? Am I totally off on that? Is Skyrim not on the phone? I'm gonna look this up now.
I don't know if Skyrim's on phones, but I know like they have like the VR thing and all that jazz.
Well, the reason I bring it up is I'm playing it again for the 30th time.
Hell yeah.
It's the best game. Like, it does so much right. It's crazy that it's still like super fun.
Do you have a favorite boss or a favorite part, like a part of that game that sticks out for you?
Honestly, the first part, the very beginning, is I think like one of the best intros to a video game, just period.
Very true.
Yeah, absolutely.
They like, it really just throws you in, and I know so many people that just quit. in the very beginning. They're like, fuck this, it's too hard, or it's like too scary. That chainsaw fuck, what do you do with the chainsaw?
What do you do with the
dude.
chainsaw guy?
It's mad stressful. Like every time, even just playing it recently, the first time, you have maybe 12 bullets, like tops.
Mm-hmm.
When you first like enter that village, terrifying. It's so scary.
I remember being in like middle school and being really into like zombie movies and stuff like that, and seeing, I think it was Game Informer had a cover for the game or a cover that was Resident Evil 4, and it was like Leon getting a fucking chainsaw to the chest, and I was like, this is the coolest game that's ever going to come out. And that village part, like, I loved every second of it. Like, that part's so great. You're dead on.
I got really scared like the first 4 times.
I mean, because essentially you just have to try shit and fail a bunch of times, which I think is a great way to have your video game structure learning. Because, like, you can run down the center and then, like, go straight into the house if you're lucky, you know? And then you grab the shotgun and, like, the grenades. But otherwise, like, that's not the most obvious choice. And, like, you could run up and get into that really big tower and you think you're safe, but then they start throwing the Molotovs at you.
Yeah.
And so, like, you learn all of the capabilities of your enemies, like, right then.
It's a great setup too, that it's like, hey, this isn't like a previous Resident Evil game. Like, these guys aren't just super dumb. Like, they are going to find a way to kill you no matter where you are.
Yeah, and it teaches you, like, you're going to be overwhelmed more than, like, I guess, like, outlasted. Because I feel like zombies in previous Resident Evil games are, like, more bullet spongy. Like, you can shoot those guys a lot, and you'll miss a lot too. This one, it's like you really got to make sure you're not getting just crowded.
RE4 was such a good game that they fucked it up and accidentally made Devil May Cry. Like, they accidentally also made a really fucking good game by, like, trying to make RE4.
I forgot about like when they were like working on RE4, like all of the different games that like I saw clips that had Leon walking through a mansion and like ghosts were chasing after him.
Hell yeah.
Like that was some of the early footage. It's like they were just throwing everything at the wall for that one.
Yeah, I remember that demo too. I specifically remember the suits of armor. That was like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would animate and stuff. That game looked pretty fun too, though. I'd play that game.
Honestly, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, I love Devil May Cry to death. Like, I'm just really big into like character action games these days, quite clearly. But like, I would like to see like Kamiya's actual take on Resident Evil 4. I think that would be really, really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, I feel like anything that guy does is at the very least interesting. Like, I'll play any game that he wants. If he wants to do like a true blue Star Fox game instead of the weird thing that Nintendo had them doing, like, I'm all for it. You can aim with the Wiimote. That's fun, right? And you have to aim with the Wiimote.
What a weird time that was. Looking back on it, feels like such a fever dream.
It's especially weird that like the Wii was one of the best selling consoles like that Nintendo's ever put out. Like, not the best, I don't think, in all time.
It might be the best.
Is it? It might be, actually.
I think so.
Because I want to say the Wii outsold the PS2, which was like a huge fucking deal. Because that was also a DVD player, so
Yeah.
everybody was excited about that.
We ain't even play DVDs. You could watch Netflix on it though.
Dude, I have no
shit.
disc drives. I don't own anything that can play any disc.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
zero at all?
Nothing.
Damn.
Computer? No.
Damn.
So I ran into this insane computer problem the other day. I went to get rid of my CD drive on my desktop. I was like, I don't need this anymore. And so I took it out of my computer, and all of a sudden my computer, and I also installed another hard drive at the same time. So all of a sudden my computer's not working. And I'm like, is it the new hard drive? Like, what's all this stuff? I go through like 5 hours of things. And it turns out that it needed the CD drive back in it to get like to boot up at all. And the CD that was in there was my DVD copy of Aliens.
What?
It just needs
I
aliens.
don't understand it. But I booted up my computer, like I had the CD drive, I took out Aliens, and then I booted it up again without the CD drive attached, and it was fine. It needed Aliens to start.
I swear to God, I don't intend to bring up Sonic every single episode, but
Yes, you do.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I was waiting. I kind of wanted to just lead into it. Like when you asked me, like, what's your favorite anime and stuff, I was like, no, let's just get to the song.
well, I'm happy to oblige, John, anytime. But so there was, I don't know if you guys know this, there was a Jack in the Box promotional like thing that they had going on back when they would like, you know, have a bunch of those like commercials for like Happy Meals and stuff like that. They had a Sonic and Knuckles promotion, and you could get a really bad port of Sonic and Knuckles on the PC for like, along with, you know, whatever the fucking kids meal at Jack in the Box was. And I found out about this way later. I was talking to Anthony, my roommate, about it, and he told me about that, and I was like, what the fuck? I actually didn't know that. And then like 2 weeks later, he handed me a disc with that on it, and tragically enough, there's not a single disc drive in the house. I haven't been able to play it. Wow. It's tormenting me.
That's your holy grail.
Yeah.
It's got the Jack in the Box logo on it and everything.
You've got the Holy Grail, but you can't like leave the temple. Like you've left the temple. Now you can't experience eternal life. I'm
like that guy in that episode of The Twilight Zone where like he's the last person on Earth and he's got all the books, but then his glasses breaks.
Yeah.
It's a real bummer.
Do you think that's worth money? Is that like rare at this point?
I don't think so.
Feels valuable. I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure he got it on like eBay or something, and it like, I don't know, it was such a whatever
he bought
thing.
It for
like,
you?
Yeah, he bought it for me.
Oh my god, that's so sweet.
It was.
He really knows you.
He really does. I mean, it's hard not
precious.
to know this about me at this point, but
you have a nice little life together in your little house.
We sure do. We got married twice, actually. Same night.
No shit?
We were at a performance art show, and they had this thing going on where there were like a bunch of like, it was very culty, and there was like a bunch of people in like hoods and masks and stuff, and they were burning sage, and then like they grabbed the both of us by the arms, and then they pulled us forward, and they sprinkled some shit on us, and they burned sage over our heads, and they smacked us on the head and handed us a wedding certificate and said, "You're married." And then like 20 minutes later, they grabbed us again. I don't think they realized they'd already done us, and we were like, no, we already went. They were like, too bad. And then they did it again. We still have those marriage certificates. This was like 3 years ago.
I remember you guys coming back to the apartment and being like, hey, we got married. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, fuck it. I thought you guys were going to a show, but whatever.
Two birds, one stone, you know.
Yeah.
Two birds, one scone. It is these days, I guess.
So
where were
John,
you?
What?
Oh, yes. No, okay.
Go
yes,
ahead.
No, that's it. Never mind. Maybe the story doesn't need a backstory. You know, media today is all about explaining everything and leaving nothing to the imagination.
Exactly.
We don't need to know where everybody came from. What were you saying?
John, are you also a Sonic fan? Or do you just know that about Bakari?
I know that about Bakari. I also enjoy Sonic, but not nearly to the same level.
That's hard to do.
I don't think I've honestly like played a Sonic game since Generations.
Generations was good.
So I think I'm more of just into Sonic the icon, the disambiguation of what is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sure, that's perfectly fine.
But you're like, Bakari's like in the culture.
I love Sonic in all his forms, man. Well, most of his forms anyway. But I have a little Knuckles and a little Robotnik on my desk right now. I don't have a Sonic yet. I should probably get one. But
what is your least favorite Sonic form?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Probably Sonic Boom. I don't actually have the problems a lot of people did with So people lost their shit when Sonic Boom came out because they made his arms blue instead of like the flesh color they usually are.
People's problem with Sonic Booms was so weird.
The big problem was that Knuckles had fingers. Like, that's weird. He has like fully formed like 3 digits weird. Each and shit. Yeah, it's fucking... That wasn't supposed to happen. But honestly, I just don't like those because they're like, it's a bad like beat 'em up kind of game. You don't go fast at all, and that's a problem to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, you can go really high because there's the Knuckles infinite jump glitch that's really easy to do.
Sonic doesn't say gotta get high. In fact, he says he shouldn't be getting high in that one episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog 1992, where Tails takes a joint from Grounder. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, shit,
this is a thing.
what?
You can look that up. Grounder, one of Dr. Robotnik's minions. He's also in Sonic 2. He's like he's got little tank treads and little drills for
I know
hands.
Grounder.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I know Grounder.
Okay, I'm sorry, John. I forgot who I'm talking to. But yeah, like at one point Grounder and I think Scratch is also there, and they're like smoking a like I don't think they actually use any, the word joint or any, sign thereof, but like they're kind of acting high, and Tails kind of comes up and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And then Grounder's like, you want to try this? And then Tails takes it. He takes a puff and starts coughing. And then Sonic shows up. He's like, Tails, what are you doing? And he like takes the joint and throws it or something like that, and then talks about how drugs are bad. And that was Sonic Says.
Oh shit. I love that there's like this plot by Robotnik, like, I'm gonna destroy Tails and Sonic by getting them to think that weed is cool.
No, that's the thing. Robotnik had
destroy
nothing to
their
do with
life.
it. Robotnik had nothing to do with it. They were just smoking on a break or something.
Oh shit. Okay. I assumed he had like assigned his robots like go, because like robots can't get high on drugs.
Yeah, they can.
On human drugs.
Yeah, they can.
No.
Don't take
that
this
can't
away
be
from
a
me,
thing.
Stu. One day when we go full Ghost in the Shell, I better still be able to smoke weed. That would be very unfortunate if not.
Oh no. Yeah, you get the cyborg implant, you get the thing that makes you talk like the little tank guys, but you can't get high anymore.
Speaking of Ghost in the Shell, you know what? I think I figured out what my most hated anime is.
Oh, do tell.
It's the new Netflix Ghost in the Shell.
I knew it.
It's so bad.
You actually watched that?
I tried really hard.
Like, how far did you... Like, I didn't even turn it on. Like, I've been wanting to, but for some reason, my girlfriend won't let me turn it on, like, while we're hanging out. So, yeah, how is that?
I got, like, maybe 4 episodes in. And, well, one, it has, like, the Netflix, like, Uncanny Valley, like, everything looks really weird. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like there's enough frames of animation type animation. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, as, like, a super big Ghost in the Shell fan, there's a black character... feels a little racist.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Ghost in the Shell has really been striking out with that stuff recently, with this and the live-action movie.
Yeah. And, like, once I saw it set in America, I was like, oh, no. Why'd they put it in America? Oh, God. He's the worst character in anime. Even the last series, like, Arise wasn't that good either. We got a lot of big, like, misses for Ghost in the Shell right now.
Yeah.
So... As a guy I've always tried to get into Ghost in the Shell, is standalone complex, like, is that the thing to watch, or should I be watching something different?
Oh, it's spectacular.
Okay, cool.
It's magnificent.
That's always what I've gone to, but I wasn't sure if there was something else I should be watching as well.
Did you watch the movies?
I saw the first movie. I've seen that a bunch of times. I love that movie.
The second one is really good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's like predominantly dialogue, but it's very good.
I could dig that.
So there's like not a lot of action. It's just two dudes talking about what it is to be a person.
Is that where that Be Human song came from? Because that's really good. Or is that standalone complex?
Off top, I don't know.
Okay.
Arise had really good music though. The music for Arise is like incredible. Cornelius did like a bunch of the songs. I don't know if you guys are into Cornelius, but he's super good.
I don't think I'm familiar.
Yeah, some new joints. What are your guys' favorite anime intros?
Ooh.
My great debate, like if I have to kill time and I don't have my phone or something, my great debate is what opening do I like more, Evangelion, or what do I think is better, Evangelion or Cowboy Bebop, because those are like the two regular guy classics. And I'm right now I'm in camp Cowboy Bebop. I think that's such a great opening. So that's what I would lean to. Easy, simple man answer, but I think it's such a good opening.
Those are two like huge dunks though. Like it's really hard to argue against them.
Yeah, you can't fuck up with either of those.
Yeah.
I really like the Gundam Wing intro song.
Yes, that song fucking rules.
It's super tight. It honestly kind of reminds me of the Evangelion one, like a lot. Are they in the same key, Bakari? You know music good.
Not that good, unfortunately. I don't. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. Like they might be the same like mode or whatever, but like as far as like tonally, I don't think so. Probably not.
Just one time, just like hum them both, and then like just go back and forth and be like, You might accidentally just like make a combo song, which would be a good song.
That'd be a good song. I feel like you could put the chorus to Cruel Angel's Thesis onto like a verse from now I forget the fucking Gundam just Wild Beat Communicate. I don't know. That song. You could put the chorus from one on the verse.
Communication?
Wild Beat Communication? That sounds right. You could put the chorus from one onto a verse from the other, and I feel like it would work. That's a free mashup idea.
I think that's right.
I'm sure it's already been done, actually. There was this anime that like actually wasn't very good. It was called Galilei Dona, but it had a fire opening. Like the opening was so good, and you know that happens. I got hyped up by the opening, and then I watched the show. I was like, never mind. But somebody did a mashup of that and One Mo Jin from by D'Angelo, and it actually works spectacularly.
Wow.
I just thought you guys needed to know that.
Speaking of like a similar crossover between similar worlds, so I don't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I don't know the names of the characters.
Sure.
Do you guys watch JoJo's?
I'm a very JoJo casual. Like I've seen parts of the first 3 series. I've seen the first one all the way through, and then like had the other 2 on while I was doing other stuff, like playing my Game Boy or something.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. You're in a safe place.
Okay, so the guy with the blonde circly things on it.
Oh, that's
his hair.
That's
like,
Giorno. He's the protagonist from the 5th part.
Did you ever see that in Japan they released a Jodeci's Greatest Hits album, and the cover is that character?
No fucking way.
Yeah, you can buy it on vinyl.
What?
It's just like this really gorgeous picture of him.
Bakari's just powering away at eBay right now.
I don't even like JoJo's that much, but that sounds sick.
Yeah, me, like, I've never even really seen it, but a fucking Jodeci record?
Oh my
Wild.
God. Look, that's a really good picture of him too. That's like a solid album art choice, I think.
So what about you, John? What is your favorite anime opening?
I think it's Gundam. I think it's the Gundam Wing one.
Oh shit! Okay.
I really love the Gundam Wing one. It's so like of the time that like you know exactly what was going on. You know, like it's so fun.
Yeah, that's a really
Try it out.
That's a really good way to put it. Is like you watch that and like you kind of get a really good feel for what you're about to be in for in like a very good way.
Yeah, just a show about 5 very pretty terrorists, and like maybe they'll kiss. I don't know.
Maybe. Here's hoping.
I mean, that's what fan fiction's for, at the very least, right?
Have you guys watched Gundam Wing recently?
No.
I started it like a couple months ago, and then that's when I decided I was gonna like start Gundam from the beginning. So I like turned it off maybe like 5-6 episodes in.
It's insane. It's so crazy.
Do you still enjoy it, or is it like just more a nostalgia trip at this point?
It's just, yeah, I still really like it. I was trying to like come up with a reason, like something like an intelligible reason. No, it's just fucking sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
They just threw every dart they had at the board. Like Troa is such a weird character. Why is he in the circus?
Which one's
Is he the one with the hair?
He's the one. He pilots Gundam Heavy Arms, the one with like hella guns, just like hella guns.
Hella guns.
I thought Heavy Arms was the coolest robot, like, for most of... I probably still think it now, but yeah, like, of all mecha designs, it's like, it's a dude who just... Doors open, and then, oh, what do you know? It's another gun. Like, that's great.
Yeah, and, like, I feel like Gundam Wing and G Gundam, they had so much fun with the designs. Like, they went crazy.
G Gundam I'm a bit more familiar with, and I think G Gundam is, you know, it's got its problematic issues, but that aside, such a fun show. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Right? But there's just a lot of stuff, like, you know, Tro's in the circus, I don't get it. Ketra is all sorts of a terrorist. Oh my god. His body count is insane. He kills so many people from, like, all sides of the war. Like, he's just a rogue killing machine.
That's the one with the braid, right?
No, he's the one who might be... Okay, this is... I don't even know where to start with this. So, maybe he's supposed to be based off of, like, an Osama bin Laden type character.
Oh, you're starting from a good point then, yeah.
But, like, if he was, like, a really big sweetie. He's, like, exactly the same, but just, like, cute.
They found a bunch of anime on Osama's hard drive. Like, maybe he took some inspiration. Who knows?
He also loves Whitney Houston. Osama bin Laden, not the character from Gundam Wing. He was a huge Whitney Houston fan, so like maybe the characters aren't that different.
Maybe.
Because that sounds really sweet.
I'm going to derail this podcast and just say that I've been watching like a shit ton of Full Metal Alchemist. Ooh. I've watched like 30 episodes in the last week, and I fucking love it.
Which one? OG or Brotherhood?
The original. The original one.
So this is
It popped up on Netflix, so I was here for it.
This is my take on it, though. Brotherhood is better, except for the ending. The ending of the original is totally better than the ending to Brotherhood.
Now, I've never actually finished it, so I just want to throw that out there so you don't, accidentally say what it is.
Yeah, but no, I'm not gonna.
It's funny that I feel like generally people say that Brotherhood has the better ending, and I also don't know what that one is. But the people say that that's the better ending, but it seems to be more controversial than that.
I can't argue that Brotherhood isn't like better put together, but like I feel like when a lot of people say that Brotherhood's better than Full Metal Alchemist 03, like I feel like they just mean because it's closer to the manga, which like the manga's great, don't get me wrong, but like I rarely hear any concrete reasons beyond that. So like I wonder how much of that perception of it is really just because like Arakawa wasn't able to like put out the manga to keep up with the anime at the time, and they had to like do the whole split paths thing. But they're both very good.
Yeah, that's what I think it is too. I think it's the fact that it follows it more that people like the end parts of Brotherhood more. Mm-hmm. But OG's great.
OG had some really cool ideas, like stuff that I guess I can't say because I don't want to spoil it for Stu, but there's some really cool stuff.
I didn't realize like I've been in kind of a more emotional state than I thought I was, and like in watching the show this last week, every single like little beat where like something bad happens or somebody dies or anything dies, I've been getting like it's been hitting me in the way that I think the show was like intended to. So I'm completely obsessed with it. Like there's like an animal that died at one point, and I was like, oh no, not that poor character that had like 1 second of screen time. No.
Wait, hold on. So Nina and Alexander's become such a meme at this point, like. And you've been exposed to that even before you started watching. Like, how did that hit you then?
The thing about, like, especially the early episodes, like, where it's like, oh, we're doing a thing, we're exploring, we're having fun. Oh, here's a dark twist at the end of the episode that turns out that the guy you liked was actually a murder man. I thought it was going to be like that, where it was just going to be one episode, this thing happens, the dark twist happens, and you move on. But you spend so much time with the little girl that I was like, even knowing it was coming, it still hit really hard. And then thinking about the fact that every time there's a person with a dog, somebody has to post that fucking dead ass joke. I'm like, I hate this. Oh, I'm like even angrier at the meme now. Because like before it was just that, okay guys, it's been told so many times, like we don't have to just keep going through it. It's fucked up, whatever. But now that I know it, it's just like, come on, show some respect, have some class.
It's those posts, and then it's the, like, why does anime food look so good posts. Like, every other fucking day on Twitter. It's just that scene of somebody cooking from, like, the Garden of Words or whatever, or, like, Howl's Moving Castle or some shit. And, like, yeah, it's well drawn and well animated, but, like, I don't know. It's still a cartoon. Like, I don't want to actually, like, eat cartoons, I guess.
You don't want to just pick up the paper and just shove it in your mouth?
You know what? If I bought the animation cell, maybe I'd lick it once, but that's about as far as I'd go.
Wow.
Well, speaking of animation cells, you guys want to talk about Tower of God?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
You sound so enthused.
Very excited there. I guess let's start with like what's an overview. John, since you're the special guest here, what is Tower of God just generally kind of about?
Pass.
That might be because we've talked a little bit about it, and I get the feeling John might have the lowest opinion of it between all of us, so maybe I feel like I'm...
Have you guys seen more than the 6 episodes?
No.
I wanted to... spoiler alert, I thought about watching more, and I didn't, because I was like, maybe for the show, I'll just watch the first 6, and then I can have guesses about it from there.
Okay, because, like, even if I tried, I don't really know if I could really, like, hit anything useful, you know? Like, it's still very mysterious so far.
It's true. Actually, it was like the end. It was like the end of episode 6 where, like, finally, like, something really interesting to me anyway in the story happens. Like, we'll get to it, but yeah, It was a shame that that's where we cut off at. But yeah, I can give it a go unless you're dying to do it, Stu.
No, you go for it. You're here to save the synopsis here.
Yeah. So okay, so there's a big ass tower. It's hella big, and maybe it's the whole world. I'm not quite sure. There's people who don't know what the sky is, so they're either in the tower or underground or something like that. And there's this guy who's extra underground. The subtitles say his name is Bam, but the audio says his name is Yoru, so take it as you will. And then he gets found by this girl named Rachel, and he like imprints on her because she's like the first human that he's met, I guess, or something. And then she ends up going like, okay, I'm gonna go climb the Tower of God, so see ya, it's been fun. And then he's like, no, don't go. And then she goes anyway. So now he's trying to climb the Tower of God to try and find her again. And there's a lot of trials and mean people who want to kill other people, and it's scary.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I like it.
There we go.
So I think we've kind of gotten into it a little bit, but like, what are your guys' initial impressions of this show based on the first 6 episodes here?
John, would you like to?
Okay. So I think it really is not until like the end of the 5th episode and like parts of the 6th episode that you start to really get some like meat about the story. Because you spend a lot of time like just in a state of like kind of unknowingness about everything. They introduce a lot of characters, a lot of like not mechanics, but similar, I guess, mechanics, yeah, on like how the tower works and how like it's organized, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I would really have to watch more to feel like I had any kind of connection to it or like drive to understand more of it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. What about you, Bakari?
I feel like stylistically this show, like, it's not, I'm having a hard time deciding if I want to say like that this show doesn't know what it wants to be, or it just thinks that it can handle all these different like tropes at once. Like, it wants to be kind of like dark and edgy and like, oh shit, people are gonna die, like, you know, like a Mirai Nikki or something, but then it also wants to be like really kind of out there and weird, kind of like Made in Abyss kind of thing. And then it also just wants to be a standard shonen kind of thing. Like, they have the magic water that like everyone who's super powerful can use, and like, you know, it's gonna get like super, like, you know, Soul Eater or Naruto or Dragon Ball or whatever later on, where like or Bleach, like, you know, if you don't know how to use the magic water by episode, you know, 10 or something like that, then you're not a contender anymore. So yeah, this show just goes in so many directions, and like, I don't think it does any one particular thing awfully, but I don't think it does any of those things particularly well either. Okay.
So yeah, because I definitely see where you guys are coming from, but I wanna counterpoint with a little bit. I really enjoyed the show.
Okay.
I thought it was really fun. I think it starts out a little slow, but the big reason that I think this show is great is because of the large lizard man named Rack, who's basically, I want him to be the protagonist. I want to follow his story completely. I care so much about what happens to him and only him in this show. And that has really kept me going. Like, if he weren't in the show, I'd give it like, if I'm at an A right now, I'd be like a C+. Like, oh, it's sad boys trying to find meaning in life, but also here's a large lizard man who just likes throwing a spear around and fighting dudes. That's perfect. That's who I want to be in life.
Yeah, I feel like he should just have his own series.
Honestly, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that
also. You go first.
No, well, I was just gonna say, I think that's where a lot of anime has been let down for me, is that we don't have enough shows about just very large people who want to fight guys. Like, we have small, regular-looking boys who want to fight guys, but we don't have shows about big guys who want to fight guys. With the exception of maybe Baki the Grappler.
And Kengan Ashura, and Hajime no Ippo, kind of. Everybody's big, but Ippo, he's really short. Like, there's some, if you want to find some big burly dudes what want to fight other big burly dudes, there's options.
That's my new genre to look up after this episode. Big burly dude fighting anime.
Watch Baki, you won't be disappointed.
Side note, my roommate and I, Tim, we've been watching a ton of Baki, not Bakari.
Hey, what's up? I'm a grapple.
Yeah, we've been watching you, but we've also been watching Baki, and it's super strange. I don't know what's going on, but the fights are so good. But
So
also
good.
we're watching the Netflix version, so it's got those weird fucking Uncanny Valley characters, and it's a little weird sometimes.
I think Baki is Baki looks okay. I think Baki and like Berserk look good for Netflix quality at least.
The Berserk movies. Yeah, those were all right. Like, it definitely does still do that weird CG thing, but like that's probably one of the best executions of it.
Yeah, because I think they like hand draw most of the close-ups or like the like keyframes, important stuff.
Yeah.
And then they use the CG for like the long shots and like the big battle things, and it works out much better than usual, I think.
Totally. It doesn't have the awful theme song from the original Berserk series though, and that makes me kind of sad.
Speaking of bad theme songs, this one's not good.
It's
The
yeah.
intro song.
Oh yeah, it sounds like I really liked the soundtrack to the show overall, but the big intro and I think the ending, but the intro especially sounds like a Linkin Park song just in another language.
Yeah, I like can't watch this in the living room, so I just get so embarrassed when the intro song plays.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
That sounds all right.
I watched the whole thing with headphones, so same thing.
I think Bakri has a great point though with it just being like a big mashup of stuff and like not hitting a lot of stuff super great, because like I still don't know, you still don't really know anything about bomb or bam or however you say it. I feel like they even say it a few different ways in the show.
I don't think they actually say the name Bomb or Bam though. They always call him Yoru, right?
So here's what I figured out. So I liked this enough that I decided to read the let me get up Wikipedia here, manhwa of Tower of God.
Well done.
So I did extra credit for this one. Bam or bomb, I'm not sure, it means knight or chestnut in Korean, according to webtoons. So I didn't pay attention to what the Japanese name that they said, because the show is in Japanese.
Yoru also means knight in Japanese, actually.
And there you go. So I think it's supposed to mean knight, but I don't know how translation works. That's just a thing I learned, so now you guys know it too.
There we go.
Did I like break the rules by watching the dub? Was I not supposed to do that?
Oh, no, that doesn't matter. I mean, there was no preset rule for that. I mean, Stu watches dubs. Like,
I'm a dub man all the way through. I didn't realize there was a dub on there it is on Crunchyroll, English dub. It's right. It's staring me right in the face right now. God damn it.
This
okay, well,
all of
I
a sudden
watched
now
the
this
sub, so.
disconnect makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, in Japanese they changed his name to Yoru, but the subtitles still say the name Bomb. So who knows?
Well, let's do our episode by episode breakdown here. I think, unless anybody else has any other notes about the show they want to say.
Yeah, I got nothing. Let's go.
Let's get it popping.
All right. So episode 1, she wanted to see the stars. He wanted to be with her. What do you desire that you would give your life for? Only those with the strength to survive can acquire that which they seek at the top of the tower.
I like Soul Calibur too.
I'm really excited to read these plot synopses because a couple of them really suck. So I'm really excited. Episode 1 has, as much as I liked this show, I did not like episode 1 very much. Because it feels like that's the one where they're throwing the most stuff at you, but nothing is sticking. Where it's like, oh, there's this tower, and she wants to go to the tower, but who are these people? Why is there this girl suddenly? Why is she giving him a sword? Like, it's just throwing things at you constantly throughout it.
Yeah, and it's hard to decide, like, why you should care about all the parts. Like, why does he get the Master Sword in the first episode? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, for seemingly no reason other than the girl thinks he's cute, I guess. Yuri, her name is?
Yeah, and that's the weird thing is, like, the two female characters that show up both just think he's cute, and so he gets to have infinite power.
He's it really establishes him, and like the series, it reinforces this, like, you know, the idea of the I know it's like played out, but like the idea of the Mary Sue where like everything just kind of works out for him. Like, we have no reason to believe that he's anything other than like a weird little cave boy, but like everything goes perfectly right for him, up to and including like this princess of whatever it's called, like, hands him the magic sword because she's bored, I guess. And then the magic sword is like, well, usually I don't listen to anybody, but I guess I'll listen to you. And this just continues throughout the whole show. Is like every time he needs something to happen, there's a person who's just like, you know what, I like your style, kid, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's it. His whole team and everything is just comprised of people who are like, yeah, I like this guy. He's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we'll protect him. We'll do everything that works for this guy. What does he do? What is his thing?
Nothing.
There you go.
I have no idea.
He's a little weenie boy. He can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely my least favorite character in the show. I don't know if that says more about him or says... I like a lot of the side characters in the show. I like in this first episode, I liked all the other characters that showed up. I liked the weird, rabbit guy with the staff. I liked, what's going on with this other character and her weird, military guide. There's some... It seemed interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely some, fun and, creative character designs. But... there's not, I don't know yet. I just don't know. I think you need to watch more. I feel like in this one specifically, 6 episodes doesn't quite do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and especially at one episode, I was like, this show's gonna tank. We're gonna have another episode where we talk about how much we hate the anime in general. Because that episode 1 really didn't do it for me. But I liked episode 2 a bit more. Because you have that. What I liked about episode 2 is that it finally starts to show okay, here's what's going on. There's a battle royale. I guess that shows up kind of at the end of episode 1, but it's here's something that's happening. Here's something tangible that we can latch onto. There are 400 people. You need to be in the last 200. Go. Okay, I can follow that. As opposed to there's a weird eel creature and you need to break a ball. I don't know what that means.
See, I want them to go super hard on the eel creatures. Just,
Yeah.
Weird monsters and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see Blood Blockade Battlefront?
Dude, that show fucks. I love that show so much.
It really fucks. And it fucks because they go so hard on the character designs and having them be super over the top and how that actually interacts with things.
Yeah, the stuff they do is so cool and so crazy, and it's even kind of the main character's name is Leonardo Watch, and he has the all-seeing eyes or whatever. But and they can take something that's on its face that's stupid and make it actually really sick just by being so crazy about it. And I feel like this show kind of doesn't do anything to. Or the battle royale, it's grisly, I guess, but it's just kind of yeah, people are killing each other. Violence sure is rough, I guess. I didn't like the Hunger Games.
It keeps on happening.
It sure does.
I think for me, it wasn't necessarily that it was trying to say anything or do anything special per se. It was just after the first episode where here's all these nebulous tasks that you need. Here's this big nebulous task that you need to complete. It's here's just we're gonna show a bunch of cool characters and we're gonna give you context for how they'll proceed in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked episode 2 well enough. It also includes previously mentioned favorite character Rack, who I took notes as I was watching it, and I just kept writing about how I just want him to be a main character. I hope he's not just some obstacle that they have to fight. Please let him be a main character. And I was so happy that he got to continue after this show. This episode.
What's the over-under on us ever finding out why he calls them turtles?
No idea.
What's the over-under? I bet we'll find out. Will it be satisfying? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that he calls them turtles, though. That's my favorite thing.
What if he just eats them both?
Oh, I hope so.
I'm here for it. Take him out. Let him be the main character. Problem solved. He reminds me of every dumb character I love being in Dungeons and Dragons or something, where it's just you're this big massive idiot and you talk down to everyone around you they're dumber than you just because you're bigger than them. I'm here for that character type 100%.
His last name is Wrathracer. I forgot that. That's a very good last name.
Yeah. He's all around cool. It's he's really selling the show to me.
I always have this overall premise, the whole the idea of the Tower of God, it's sort of an archetype, I feel, of there being this big mysterious structure that people have to climb up or climb down into to grant a wish or find the treasure or whatever. And it always poses itself like it's going to be really weird and really crazy and like nothing you've ever seen before, and like not like very few shows, books, movies ever get that right. Like the closest one was probably Made in Abyss, but then it like also is really weird about its like very young characters, so you know, struck out in an entirely different way. Like they're like 10, it's really awkward. But yeah, not a fan. But yeah, I just want one show to actually follow through on this cool premise, and I don't think I'm getting that out of these first 6 episodes.
Well, and that's what I was talking about with my roommate. He didn't really care for this show either, and his thing was like, I've seen this before. Like, I've seen people climbing a tower to do a thing. I've seen it in other shows before. Like, it just, like, whatever. Like, he needed something stronger to connect him to like what's happening. I think. So I get that, because like this feels like I'm enjoying it as a guy who's kind of like newer-ish to like shonen anime, as a like, oh, like they have this task and there's cool characters and they're gonna fight things. Like I'm here for that. But like it feels to me like more anime veterans than I are like, yeah, like whatever. Like this just isn't new. This isn't fresh. This isn't cool, or isn't good.
What I was really hoping for, like, because this season 2 where they're all fighting, it's really grisly. Like, you know, people are dying right and left and stuff. But like, so I kind of thought it was going to be like, okay, we're edgy and like they're going to try and make you like a character and then kill them in a really gruesome fashion. Like, okay, I'm on board. Like that's the kind of lowbrow shit I'm into. So like, fine. But then that's kind of the last time anything like that happens. And I'm not complaining about like, you know, there's not enough people being eviscerated, but like there's just nothing to really replace that, I guess.
Yeah, it comes off like surprisingly light.
Yeah.
Especially when like, what's the death toll supposed to be? Like 200?
Yeah, it's 200 people die.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you see like 5 die or something. It's not particularly intense. And I think I would agree with that. Like, it's trying to be edgier than it really is.
Yeah.
And then also, do we know like what most of the characters' motivations are yet for like climbing the tower, like specifically?
Well, we know the motivation of Rack, Wraithrazor, which is he's there to fight people, and so again, he's the best character. I will be continuing to elaborate on that.
I won't fight you on
elaborate on that. Just say it.
They kind of they introduce Kun in that episode, and he has these flashbacks to his sister, question mark, and she's gone somewhere and he might be looking for her or something, but like they, in no clear terms do they ever really explain what his situation is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that is what would really maybe help the series a lot more, if like you understood why everyone was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think only by the end of like episode 6 I start to understand more of the characters.
That's a fair point. Yeah, because I feel like I just kind of assumed like, oh, they want to get to the top of the tower because that's just what everybody wants to do, and I didn't think much beyond that. And
they do a lot. Like this event really takes its time showing us all the different types of characters that are in it. Like it starts taking on sort of like an ensemble show kind of thing. Like, you know, your My Hero or your Bleach, Naruto, insert shonen manga here, but like none of the other characters, like they all have their one gimmick. Like the guy's got the 2 swords and the girl's got her, you know, lizard agility and her weird whippy sword thing, and there's the guy who sleeps all the time and the Bruce Lee dude who sucks. But like,
oh, I love him. So
far the Bruce Lee guy's funny, but like at the same time, like they haven't really done anything to endear anybody to us other than the, you know, really just the main character, and then kind of the lizard girl at the very end of episode 6. That's kind of it.
I like the sleeping guy.
I mean, I like sleeping too. Like I find him relatable, but he's too asleep to really develop his own character very much.
That's kind of like I guess I disagree a little bit. Like I'm not too like I kind of understand the general idea of like they all want to get to the tower for some reason. I'm more into like how they act and how they're designed and things like that. And that's what I really like about the show, is that like the main character is boring as hell, and that's an issue, but every other character I'm in love with. I love I think all of them are really interesting. I wrote down a bunch of the names in my notes, but now I've had too much beer to like pronounce them properly without making a fool of myself. But still, sure. I wrote them down. I thought they were really interesting, or not really interesting, but at least like cool on like a fun surface level.
And yeah, I guess that's really the crux of my grievance. There is just like too much screen time given to the main weenie boy, and not enough to characters that are actually interesting, like in design.
That's fair.
Yeah, I fuck with Kun. Which is a weird sentence to say. It feels really odd.
Yeah, like
as a black person.
Well, I like I like his whole gimmick with like I have a bag that makes more things. Like I think that's a cool power. So I'm into it. I like it.
Yeah, I like how that bag's like mostly used to clone chocolate bars, especially
for everyone's favorite character, Rack. Mm-hmm. It's worth it. So I wanted to bring up the episode synopsis on Crunchyroll because I'm just going to read the last like sentence of episode 2 synopsis, which was already talked about a bunch. Together they aim for the top, but... And then it just stops. It just stops for no reason. Like, and I looked up other synopsises, like I tried to find, and everyone was just like a copy-paste of the Crunchyroll one. So everything is just like, together they aim for the top, but...
That's all you gotta know, I guess.
Great, cool, thanks. Really helpful for my anime podcast. Thanks, Internet.
Yeah, we gotta send them an email. They don't know they're fucking us up here.
I mean, the Wikipedia one is pretty full.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to read that one, because it's just like, all right, guys, give me like 20 minutes while I read the episode synopsis. Okay, so I'm trying to remember episode 3. When the test director Hang-Soo Yu announces the subject of the test, Rack throws a tantrum and bam, calms him. Oh, this is terrible synopsis. Meanwhile, the gears in Kun's head alone are turning. Second by second, time moves forward. What will you do? The tests in this show are weird. The test in episode 3 felt really weird to me because it's like, don't have hesitation. Like, just do it. If you can pick one, there's like 10 doors, and if you pick any of them before 15 minutes of your 30 minutes time limit, you succeed. And every team that picked after 15 minutes died. So it's about like, don't have hesitation. Just pick a door. Do it. But it also rewarded teams who didn't go first. So it seems like hesitation was good.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, you figured this out better than I did.
My grievance with it was a lot dumber in that, like, by now, like, by the third test, this really starts to feel more like a, like, you know how a lot of shonen anime have their, like, exams arc, you know? Like, you got the Chunin exams in Naruto, you got the Hunter exams in Hunter x Hunter, et cetera, et cetera. Like, this just kind of feels like that. Like, it's not really this, like... eldritch challenge that you have to, like, you know, find your own way through. It's like there's these people holding your hand through it, so to speak, and like, you know, going like, in this test you're gonna learn how to be brave, or how to, you know, try hard and believe in yourself, or whatever. Like, what is the tower there to teach them something? Like, are they gonna get a fucking degree by the time they get to top? Is that the prize?
I'm starting to realize, like, the weeb level that I've reached in the last few years of really watching anime, where I'm like, yeah, this is just like Hunter x Hunter and like other shows with tests. I love it. Here we go. And now I'm just here for it. Like, yeah, they're testing these characters. Because tests are the key to everything.
Yeah,
you like what you like, man.
I guess so. I just didn't realize it about myself until this moment.
And it's like, it's fine. Like, it's not as though like this content is necessarily bad. It's just weird given how it's been set up, you know? Like, the setting that we're in and the world that they're in, like, this just doesn't seem like the right place to have this, you know?
I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't know if it's fine. I don't know if I'm okay with the level of weeb that I am right now. And this podcast is like a huge moment for me. Like, what have I become?
You gotta go do some soul searching, I guess.
Yeah, no, I gotta go to a mountain, guys. I can't continue.
You gotta disconnect for a while. You gotta go take a boxing class and learn some more about craft beer and do a lot of just normie things, and then you know, you'll dislike these anime arcs like you should.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go watch The Office or something. Ugh.
No, don't watch The Office. Don't do it. Come on, man. We've moved past the need for the office.
We sure have.
I'm trying to remember what else happens in this episode outside of like the door trial.
At the very end of the episode, they start introducing the next. It's like a bonus round, optional challenge, where they play the king of the throne, essentially king of the hill, whatever, and they have to somebody takes the crown, and then their other two party members like protect them. And if they ever leave the throne that they sit on, then like they lose. Their whole team loses and they're done. Do they ever actually say what they get for winning this?
It was a big deal. They do say it. It's like you get to pass all these preliminary tests.
Right, okay.
And just go straight to climbing the tower or whatever.
Oh, so we're not okay. I just realized I've been misunderstanding something entirely. We're not in the tower yet. Like, this is not the process of climbing the tower. This is the prelims to get the privilege to climb the tower. I don't know how I missed that.
That's what I'm pretty sure about. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
That seems right. Like, from this description, I think you're absolutely right. I just, for some reason, that went entirely over my head. I'm not a smart guy.
No, that's fine. This isn't the smartest of shows, so you don't have to be upset about it. It's pretty obscure. It's pretty weird.
Maybe we both have to go watch The Office now.
Don't you put that curse on us. We got to start a Office podcast.
Y'all ready to... Don't say those words out loud.
The worst thing about that, it could be wildly successful.
Probably.
If we want to make a podcast that people listen to, it might be the Office podcast.
You're probably right. Okay.
I mean, there's so many like easy and like obvious Office Files. Bam, podcast title.
Office Files, that is really good.
Oh, fuck.
Easy.
Okay.
So which character are you guys? I think I'm like a cross between Stanley and I don't know, Ryan, or I don't know. I don't like this joke.
We're doing this.
I don't like this. I don't like this joke anymore. Can we go to the next episode?
I'm the Chris Pratt character all the way. I'm pretty wacky.
That's not.
Okay, so episode 4. At the end of the first round of the crown game, Anak, wielder of the ever-changing sword, the Green April, sits upon the throne. Bam, Kun, and Rak wait for their moment to participate. Will they survive until the end of this bonus game? That felt weird to say. That whole series of words coming out of my mouth felt wrong.
I forget if it was this episode or the last one, but this is also where they show that Rachel is somehow behind Bam and the rest of the guys in this challenge, and she and her squad went and killed like the other 397 people in the first challenge and just advanced here automatically. Yeah. Because they just didn't have anybody to compete against, I guess.
Well, yeah, because they get advanced because they just kill everyone else, so they get put into the next team, and it's like some weird bureaucratic nightmare behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of this bonus game?
I liked this episode more than the previous one, if I'm remembering correctly. I feel like we get to see more of the characters doing their like character stuff.
Yeah.
Like we see like Bruce Lee guy doing his little thing. And he has some funny bits in this one. I'm like enjoying Bruce Lee character.
Yeah.
He's good.
I like that he's just like a regular guy who's like kind of good at fighting. Well, amongst all these other like gods and like powerful people, he's just like, yeah, I can like punch kind of good.
He's kind of the Hercule.
Yeah, he's like Krillin. I like Yamcha.
We went to two very different Dragon Ball places here.
Where did you go, Bakri?
I said he's like Hercule.
Oh, that works.
Because he's like the strongest ordinary guy.
What about Krillin?
Well,
Krillin's an ordinary guy. He's a normal ass human.
Krillin's a normal ass human.
He's been to space, though.
Yeah, he's been to space. He can fly. He still knows like ki and all this stuff that like logic or no most other humans don't do. Like Hercule is a part of like the martial arts circuit, like just through building up his muscles and punching a bag a lot, And so by any other standards, he's like complete shit. But I'm sure if Hercule were to go against any other like regular ass dude, he'd probably win. probably.
Does Hercule still do stuff in Dragon Ball Super, or does he just drop off the face of the earth?
He's in a gag episode. He basically tells people that he defeated Frieza, or no, Beerus, and then Goku shows up and basically has to play along with it. And they come up with this story about how it was actually Hercule who unlocked the power of the Super Saiyan God. And then Goku basically takes a fall. Hercule punches him once, and then he uses his flight to like go super far and leave. And then everybody's like, "Yeah, go Hercule!" And yeah, it's just a gag episode.
Absolutely what I want.
Sounds like a good episode.
It's a fun time. It was like one of the funnier ones.
Right. But Tower of God. What did you think, Bakari, of these couple episodes here?
It's cool. I feel like this is probably the best action of the series, like that we've seen. You know, you kind of get to see a lot of the characters like show off their stuff. You know, we get to see the Green April in action, and we get to watch, yeah, like you were saying, like Bruce Lee does his Bruce Lee stuff, and there's the guy with the two swords, and he's cutting people, and like it's neat. I think the action is like well put together, like well choreographed and pretty well animated. I forgot to say earlier, like I feel like I've been really negative on this. I do really like the art style quite a bit, and I think this was a good way to show that off.
Yeah, the fight scenes I feel like were pretty well animated too. And there's a good amount of fight scenes in this episode, or in these couple episodes. In my notes, I just have a lot of notes about Rack and how cool he is. So I have in episode 5, Rack continues to be the best.
He sure does. They're really weird about the Rachel stuff though in these 2 episodes, because like she and her posse, they're like, you know, stone cold killers. They just now killed 397 people. And then they show up and they're like, yeah, we're going to kill all these people too, because that's what we do. And then when they do finally get in the ring, they kind of just like instantly join up with the main character. Because, I mean, like, obviously she doesn't want to kill him, but like the other 2 are just like perfectly on board with it. They're just like, oh, we're not killing him? All right, sure, fine. And then, because, I don't know, he's cute, or they like the cut of his jib or something, because that's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm probably projecting a little bit here, but it kind of seems like something where you're like making everything up on the fly, and you have these really good plot points, but the in-betweens are a little weird.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about a lot of the things where it's like the plot points are really, really solid, but like how we get there feels very uncomfortable, and like the characters are doing things that are kind of out of character to get there. Like those guys should have killed everyone, and like we should have seen a scene where like Rack and Kun like have to like fight and, you know, use their best abilities or something.
Yeah.
Maybe Bam does something.
What happens? What do they call it? Shinsu, I think is what it's called. He makes like a big Shinsu explosion or something.
Like
yeah.
And I feel like that's where like the heat of the battle would usually be, and then it's just over.
I can't remember who called him like a Mary Sue or a Gary Sue earlier, but it's like very like he like, oh no, my friend's in trouble. Turns out I'm Super Saiyan and can like blow up somebody's face.
Yeah, just cause. I mean, like, and they cover that by saying he's got amnesia, but still, it's just like, it's such a weak implementation of like, yeah, he's gonna turn out real powerful, like a Vash the Stampede kind of character. It's just like, well, it would help if I gave a shit about him by episode 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, it feels weird to a certain degree. Like, when Rachel's like, I don't want to talk to him, I don't want to see him in episode 6, I'm like, yeah, I get it. He's really boring. Like, I wouldn't want to talk to him either.
Yeah, he's super codependent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Before we get to episode 6, I just want to give a final sentence of the synopsis for episode 5. The regulars attack Bam, But
do they do the butt thing every episode?
Not every episode, but a good amount of them.
Also, I looked it up. The author is 35.
So not far off from me, I guess.
Yeah. Unless I'm bad at math, he might be 34. I don't know.
Well, whatever. Yeah, so he would have started right when he was like 20, 25. Like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you don't think everything through. Maybe he did and we're just confused. I don't know.
Yeah. Or and like also I feel like it's a little unfair to like blame the author of the source material for like what we're seeing in an adaptation. Like maybe the comic's totally different. I don't know.
Well, and I will say,
Yeah.
I didn't read a ton of the manhwa because it was really slow, but it did explain things a lot better. Like,
Okay.
I only read basically the first half of the first episode, but it gave me a better grasp on episode 1 to the point that I was like, should I rewatch episode 1? Because I don't remember what I know from the comic and what I know from the actual episode.
Yeah, and I feel like they're just kind of stingy with the details right now. I think that's kind of the idea, is they want you to be wanting to know more, and that's like supposed to be like your motivation in like pushing through the series. But you need a little more on the line, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just trying, if that's your primary incentive, like to get us to keep watching, like if they do finally reveal like the things that we're watching to find out, like if they finally reveal that in like episode 11 or 12, like is that going to be worth it? Like I feel like if that's not a really big crazy reveal that makes everything else make sense, then it's gonna I'd feel a little scammed, you know?
Yeah, you're gonna fail at Attack on Titan season 2.
Yeah, I don't want to be Attack on Titan season 2. I've already been there.
What was the like gap for that? Was that like 4 years between season 1 and 2?
Something
like
crazy
more?
like that. Yeah, I think 4 years.
And then
might
that's
be
what
right.
you get. It was rough.
It sure was.
Yeah, that was brutal. Well, and yeah. Well, now I'm just thinking about season 2 of Attack on Titan. I was going to talk about more about this show, but like I'm in like a traumatic pit right now. Yeah, no, and I think the other thing with Tower of God is like, let's say it has a great twist that like makes everything worth it by episode 13, which it looks like is the last one of season 1. I fucking hate recommending shows where I'm like, yeah, it's pretty slow, but by episode 13, like when you've watched like 5 hours of this goddamn thing, then it's really good. Like,
Yeah.
That's how I feel about recommending like Gundam in general. It's like, how many series are there? There's like 24,
Something
or,
like
whatever.
it. I lose count.
And it's just like, yeah, it gets good 5 times. 24 series.
I mean,
5 times you'll have a nice time.
I did the casual route and I watched the 0079 movies instead of the full series, but like I had fun with those. Like, it's too many episodes, Stu. I got other things to do. But yeah, I mean, like it wasn't like I was watching that the whole time, going like, gosh, when I finish this and then Zeta Gundam and then Double Zeta Gundam and then War of the Pocket and then these other movies, then once I get to this one, then it's going to be great. Like I was having a good time with Gundam to begin with, you know?
Yeah, no, I love Gundam.
Yeah.
Like, I like all of them, but they're just hard to really suggest.
That's perfectly fair.
You know?
But I would also like, if I were recommending Gundam to somebody, I'd be like, you know, try watching it. If you don't like it, then that's like, try another one. Like, don't try to sit through all of 0079 if you don't like it.
well, and nice thing about Gundam, you don't get that with Tower of God. Brought it back.
I guess I can say, like, as much as I've been pretty negative, I guess, I think I'm going to watch episode 7.
Yeah. That
I think I'm
cliffhanger.
going to just keep going.
I'm surprised. So now you're wanting to watch episode 7. Do you what is making you want to continue watching the show despite your misgivings?
Just the fact that it does have like a world there, even if I don't feel like it's yet to explain enough for me to care. I want to care. Maybe it's just a personal thing. Maybe I like to care about things.
That's as good a reason as any.
But I want to see Rack. I like him. He's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
And
Yeah,
like,
no,
I feel like...
Oh, go
You
ahead.
go first.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We're doing this?
Traffic jam.
Oh no.
Okay. Coon. Okay. I hate saying it.
Just okay. As
I feel like he's
guy
the
here,
cool... Huh?
What is like?
Go
What is?
now.
I only know Kun from like Japanese anime. Like, does that mean something different that I don't know?
Oh,
or-
it's Stu. No. Stu.
no.
No.
Oh no! What did I do?
The funniest thing about this is right now, this is definitely the blackest anime podcast in the world. And this would never happen on any other anime podcast.
Listen, I got it as the white representative of this podcast. Let me help out other white people here. What am I missing out on?
Yeah, it's important to make sure that there's more white voices heard in anime podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah, there's. Anyways.
Gosh, that's got to be somebody's platform on YouTube. You know, YouTube is toxic as hell.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Someone's gonna like really rise to power, being like, Caleb City has too many great videos.
That's the problem we're facing here. Okay, Stu. So, coon, as in like the last syllable of the word raccoon, is
okay.
Yeah, kind of like an old timey, like, well, not old timey, like it's still very much in use. It's like a slur.
I know what you're talking about now.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, cool. We're on the same page. Thanks for not making me.
Now that the spelling has changed in my brain, now I know what you guys are talking about. Oh shit!
And it's like,
okay, I definitely see the problem now. Shit.
And it's like, you know, Kun is also like an honorific, like Kun, you know, so they'll say that instead of San or Chan or whatever. But like, it's accompanied by something. Like, this is just that word a lot. And that makes it a lot worse, I think.
Yeah, no, I was definitely thinking like, oh man, they're really laughing about Japanese honorifics this whole episode.
We're just that in the shit, Stu. You just wouldn't get it.
Anyways,
what was I even saying about it? Oh god. Oh yeah, he's like,
oh fuck.
he's like the cool, like, you know, mysterious, like, kind of aloof guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I want to know, I feel like he's gonna have some other like ridiculous like cool power thing, you know, like when you reveal like his bag can copy things. Like, I'm sure that's not his only like cool power.
Yeah.
You know? And I want to see it. I like him. I like his earrings.
Yeah.
I just, you know, at the end of like the 5th episode, I think, they reveal that blue shit in his hair is an earring.
I was so confused the whole time. Like, I'm so glad they actually explained that.
It's an earring.
I was like, what is that?
Oh,
It doesn't look like it lines up with his ear. Wait, hold on.
It's really high.
Yeah. Because he uses it to tie his hair up.
Yeah. He takes it out and uses it, so it's like an earring ribbon.
Ear ribbon.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Sure.
Interesting.
Something.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
was
also
into it.
way too high up on his face. It's like really high.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of all these episodes is when they're with Bruce Lee and Sword Guy, and they tell him that wearing earrings won't make him less ugly. And that hit me so hard because that's my whole thing.
Your whole thing is earrings?
If I don't put earrings on before I leave the house, I feel hideous.
Oh, man.
And to find out that it's not working.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? You found out that you never needed it. That's the power was inside you all along.
Yeah, do you need validation from this anime? Like, no, you're good. You got
You've been a babe the whole time, dude. You just didn't know it.
Well, so the thing is, I audibly said, what? Like, to the screen. Like, I felt so attacked. And yeah, that's my favorite part of Tower of God, episodes 1 through 6.
It's got something for everybody.
Speaking on to like episode 6, like there's not a ton happens in this episode. Like it's the end of the fucking crown fight. You kind of learn a little bit of the backstory between Anak and girl whose name I can't remember, but she's a princess or whatever. Like you learn a little bit about this weird like princess dynamic.
Androzy is her name, apparently.
Yeah. The part that I thought was interesting from that episode was that like I want the reason Rachel doesn't want to see Bam to be like satisfying or good, and I know as soon as she's like, I don't want to see him, don't tell him I was here, it's like we're never gonna get a good satisfying answer to that. That's how I feel seeing that scene in a post Darling in the Franxx world where everyone explains the reason why they don't want to do things. It's like I can't deal with this show. Like just tell him why you don't want to see him. Just do it.
I think if we do get a good answer out of it, it's not going to be in this season. Like if this ends up being one of them that goes on for like 52 episodes and like maybe around episode 37 like we'll get a good answer. But if it is revealed in the next there's 13 episodes. So if it's revealed in the next 7 episodes, I don't think it's going to be any good.
I read the first 3 like manhwa chapters on Webtoons, and like they're long chapters or whatever, but I read like the first 3 or 4 and I got like halfway through episode one, so I was like, oh, this must cover a decent amount of the show. And then I looked at it, and it was like 260 something chapters.
Oh man!
So there's a lot of content for these guys.
So they're doing like a class kind of thing, right? Because they're gonna fight like a battle later on, and they have to like get their different abilities or whatever. And then Anak and Androsi start fighting. But before that, like they're telling the rules essentially, like there's these platforms and blah blah blah, and then somebody makes a point about like, oh, we're gonna fall to our deaths, and they say like, oh no, there are safety measures to ensure that you don't die, and like that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because like they killed 200 people to get here. Like day one, you know what I mean? Like what now we put on the kid gloves? Like why now? Also, you gave them all like stabby spears. Like the only reason nobody dies is because the other girls are like kicking them off before they have the chance to stab each other. Like what? Where are we going with this? What is this, a fucking magic school bus? Like this is what I hear for.
Yeah, it like, especially like in the crown fight too, there are characters that fight with swords and things, and they're like, I'm only gonna stab you a little bit. Like, that's not how stabbing works.
Is this gonna turn out to be like a video game? Is that what's gonna happen?
Oh man, it might.
100%.
I like really.
And it's going to be successful. We're going to get like, I mean, it's got to be already tied to like a gachapon mobile game. We're going to get like a fighting video game eventually, though. And if Rack isn't the best character, I'm going to throw a fit.
He's going to be like C tier. I'm sorry, dude.
I know. I already know it. I'm just upset now. I want to
Maybe they'll make like a dating sim like harem game.
Oh, there you go.
Where you can be Rack.
Oh. That's perfect. That's all.
Do you want to be Rack or do you want to date Rack?
Both. So, final verdict. John, I'm sure you know our rating system, but for anybody else who doesn't, the rating system is keep watching, and total garbage. John, where would you put this show for you?
All three.
I feel that actually.
I think I'm gonna keep watching it, but I might think it's garbage. I don't know. No, garbage is too harsh. It's very mid.
Yeah.
Very, very mid. So I might not start watching episode 7 immediately, but one day I'll probably like get back to it fairly soon,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like some of the characters. I want to see them do something.
I'm down to see more Rack. He's gonna throw more spears. It's gonna be great. He's gonna hit even further faraway targets,
I'm starting to follow up podcasts to this. I'm gonna do like the Rack fan club. Like, there's got to be other people out there. I'm ready for it.
I mean, this is like pretty popular, right? This is like one of the biggest ones of this last season, yeah?
I think so. This like might have been like the big one last season, or maybe like a Sword Art Online season 14 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, but it probably was in production. But there's also, during this season, there is God of High School, which is another webtoons comic brought to life by a Crunchyroll original. I don't know how much their input is, but I don't know how much its success or these shows' success is dependent on Tower of God being successful.
I guess I never really thought about them being connected, but God of High School is fun. Some real good,
a great time.
Some real great punching action there, punching and kicking.
Yeah, like that's a show that just kind of more knows what it is than this one, whatever Tower of God. Like that's
whatever this is.
Whatever Tower of Gosh, who knows? But yeah, like God of High School is. That's a wonderful show. Like, I guess, like my review is like, just watch that one instead of this one. But
I'm afraid that God of High School is going to turn into like a Shaman King kind of thing eventually, because they keep summoning giant spirits, and I'm not really into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe that's spoilers, because like it is still airing. But oops.
Are they rebooting Shaman King?
I heard something about that actually. I think the manga's coming back or something like that. I've been hearing a lot about Shaman King recently. It's like re-entered the collective consciousness recently or something. So maybe.
He had big headphones. I always like the characters with the big headphones.
Totally. The headphone character archetype needs to make a comeback, I think. It's not enough of them. Especially, like, they put on the headphones and start listening to music while they're fighting, and, like, it helps them somehow, I guess. That's neat. It doesn't make any sense, but if you don't think about it, it's cool.
So, Bakari, what's your rating for Tower of God?
I can't call it garbage. Like, I did, when we watched Eat Man, which hasn't aired as of the time of this, or hasn't been uploaded as of the time of this recording, but, like, that time moved so fucking slow when I was watching that. And this, I had fun. Like, if I look at it through any sort of critical lens, I'm like, it's not that good, but, like, I enjoyed myself enough to not hate the time I was spending, So, like, I probably would have put this on meh, but, like, that last plot twist about the lizard girl actually not being the princess of Jihad, and, like, she's actually the daughter of the princess of Jihad who was killed by the other princesses, like, that sort of, like, reveal made me go, like, oh, I kind of want to know what happens next. So I'll probably keep watching it eventually. But I agree, it's pretty mid.
I want to keep watching. I definitely want to watch more of this show. I think I've had the more positive feelings. But if somebody was like, I'm not feeling it, I totally get it. Like, it's... the main character is not that interesting. And we did talk about it when we talked about Eat Man. He's not that boring. Like, he's not a detriment to the show. It just... He's surrounded by so many cooler characters that I wish he was cooler.
Yeah, there's like certain really mid, like really not that great anime that I actually like enjoy because it's not trying to be that good and thus doesn't take itself like very seriously, and it can do kind of stupid stuff and get away with it. Like Mirai Nikki, which I mentioned earlier, it's like it's dumb as shit, not that well put together, and it's about people who get text messages about the future and they have to kill each other, and the one who kills all of the other ones becomes the next god. And it's dumb as shit, and I like it a lot. Because it's that dumb.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, like, no, give that
awesome.
show a shot. Like, don't expect that much out of it, but, like, I had a wonderful time watching that. So, like, I kind of thought this would occupy that space for me, and it just doesn't do anything well enough to be actually good, and it doesn't do anything, like, stupid enough to, like, occupy that lane for me. So it's kind of just there. But, I mean, I'm curious,
Well, I'm glad we're throwing this in at the end where no one will potentially hear it, but I do want to throw out, this is the first episode that we have recorded after posting the first episode on YouTube. So
it is.
This is hopefully coming out in a more timely manner than previous episodes when we're not talking about games that came out, before quarantine or whatever.
I don't know. We talked about Resident Evil 4. Bayonetta.
Fuck, never mind. All right, the podcast is doomed for all of eternity.
We went from games coming out in March to, like, games that came out, like, last generation, so, or beyond.
But I just wanted to say thank you to our friends who are listening to this podcast and talking about it. And, like, it really does make me happy to hear from, I mean, it's all friends at this point, but hearing from friends who are like, hey, I liked the episode. I liked this thing. I liked that thing. Like, it was really satisfying to hear that from people. So I've really been enjoying that.
Yeah, people have been really like surprisingly nice. Not that I thought anyone was gonna, like, any of our friends were gonna be dicks to us about it, but, like, I didn't expect people to be as nice about it as they are. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, John, for joining us. This has been fucking rad.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us. We did it. It's,
hey. Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Hell
well,
yeah.
now's the time for plugs that goes at the end of every podcast. So, John, how should people follow you? How should people learn more about every aspect of your life?
Oh, gosh. I didn't know this was coming. You can go on Instagram to see my photos. It's at Film Poppy. It's film and old stuff. You can follow me on Twitter where I don't post anything. It's at GothBitchJohn. And that's it. You can't know anything else about me.
That's all they need.
Yeah, find me in these streets.
Yeah, and anybody who wants to, I mean, I don't ever post much about the podcast except for when we post the podcast, but you can follow me at Hentai Pizza Lord.
And I mostly just retweet things about Sonic these days, but you can follow me at Bakfu, BAKFUU.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, we did it. We successfully talked about anime. I successfully got drunk on beer, so...
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Good night, everyone who's listening to this. I'm assuming everyone's listening to this at night.
Sure. What a sign off. All right.
What a sign off. Yeah, good night.
Peace, one love.
Ooh, this is Stew from the future. We forgot to record what we're gonna be talking about next time. Yeah, our bad. So the next episode is going to be on the show Space Brothers. We wanted to take a break from, battle action anime and try something a little bit more mellow, or hopefully mellow. I don't actually know anything about this show. So if you'd like to have an idea of what we're talking about in the next episode, check out the first 6 episodes of that show, because that's what we're going to be watching. Okay, now back to the past, or your present time.